Then they redo the first test again to determine if that's positive, you can't drive, and if it's negative, well, you're clear to go. Josh never did that one.
And someone wrote to him that he reminds him of an Italian mountain cat. So my dad said I want to call him Tig, and Mum was like, can't call him Tig. Imagine the kids in Cessnock, they'll terrorise him.
This is the maddest place on the planet.
Dancing.
The only show where you're allowed to do it without shoes on.
Andrew Johns, one of the greatest players of all time.
Cuddles and kisses go a long way, especially when you're in trouble.
Oh, the horse has bolted. Look at the big fellow go in.
Imagine if he wanted to fire.
They're very horny and very aggressive.
Are we allowed to put that to wear?
Sydney, stay classy.
I love everyone for making me feel this good.
Welcome to Freddy and the Eighth. Great to be back, and we're brought to you, of course, by our friends at Tab. We're into the finals. It is the best time of year. On the show today, all the fallout from the Josh Addo-Carr situation. We'll have a look at some season reviews, some teams that won't be featuring throughout the next 4 weeks, a massive preview of all the Week 1 semi-final matches, and, of course, our Freddy and the Eighth medal votes from last week, where I think Kalen Ponga stole the show. Andrew Johnsbury. Fresh and rejuvenated looking Andrew Johns and an always sharp looking Brad Fittler. Welcome.
That's
finals time. Going to bring our best finals material today. Big game players.
Let's go.
Ready to roll.
That's it.
We've been into the archives as we like to do. So Andrew last week admitted that he smashed JT with a coward shot back in the day.
Absolute dog shot.
Bang! Oi!
Play on, no penalty.
He got up and played it.
Oh!
Nice.
Well, it's one of his first games. Old bull, young bull.
How long you get there?
And then look, he gets a free massage. Look, watch the body slide when I get on there. Ready? Oh, you missed it. Missed the last bit.
What'd you have to say to him on the ground?
No, not too much. Not too much.
Well, he couldn't talk because he had your bicep in his mouth.
That's right. Got a mouthful of immortal.
Mate, nowadays, it'd be hit the road, Jack.
Yes, and a few weeks on the sidelines as well.
Sorry, JT.
So last week we thought we'd found the first Jonathan Thurston interview. We've gone back even further to find some earlier JT vision. Now, he looked like a schoolboy last week. Here he is as an actual schoolboy. Look at the size of those shorts.
Look at the clothes.
Wearing bloomers.
He's got a quilt on.
Has he got scurvy here?
He was a gun schoolboy.
Oh, he looks 12.
Isn't that incredible?
Oh, that's so
To think that he may never have got an opportunity because everyone said he was too small.
good. Well, mate, look now. Keanu Kinney.
Mate, heaps of small.
Trey Fuller.
Heath Mason.
Yeah.
Bruce,
Ialunga.
Can't
Even
Bruce Walsh. Mate,
Even,
Pappenhausen, they're all small. They're unreal.
Done me half for Penrith.
Mitch Kenny.
Mitch Kenny?
Yeah.
He's only small. Like
Reid Marnie.
Keanu Kinney was Titans Player of the Year.
Matt Bowen.
We've gone back into the schoolboy archive because there's actually schoolboy footy on 9 today. I'll give you the info on that soon. Matt Bowen, Paul Gallen. Oh, and look at this. Offload.
Gal.
Who too?
Not sure. Tony Pulatua.
Yeah, he was a beast.
Oh, yuck.
Look at him.
Look at him at school. He like Payne Haas.
Who's that?
Toddy Payton.
Payton.
He was a schoolboy sensation.
And great offloader. So does he pop a pass?
Well, he's a halfback in the front row of his body.
Look at that.
What was that school down in Canberra?
Killer.
Yep.
Jamie Lyon.
Here's Piggy. Go, Pig. Oh,
There was a gun coming through.
big fan.
What
Yep.
team's that? South Coast?
Holy Cross Ride.
Holy Cross Ride.
And Brent Kite. Clive Churchill medal winner. So he's playing out the centres there.
I can remember seeing Brent Kite play under 20s for Canberra.
Yeah, right.
Elite.
Oh, yeah, he's just charging. He was in the backs. I think he was in the centres or wing. I just always remember him playing.
We found a classic schoolboy try from a classic schoolboy name. Remember Royston Lightning?
Royston Light.
One of the great names in rugby league. Let's have a look at Royston's best work.
Erindale, is that what it's called?
Arundel against the Western Reds. Looks like. Oh, footy.
Toddy's touched the ball 4 times.
Halfback.
Oh, look at him go. Royston Lightning.
Wow, what an
Big
athlete.
rat. He was an amazing player.
What an athlete.
Played a bit for the Raiders, didn't he? There you go. I remember the days of the schoolboy footy. You'd wake up on Saturday morning and tune in, the old Commonwealth Bank Cup.
Commonwealth Bank Cup, yeah.
You know, good to see Channel 9 getting involved. I think it's on Gem at the moment.
Yes, so the schools, of course, our show's
We're not
delayed, but you can see it on 9 now, the National Schools Championships.
So Coobra was 6-0 up against Blacktown. Blacktown got held up over the line last I
Do you
saw.
remember why
Around
it
the grounds.
stopped? Do you remember why it stopped? It was a massive all-in brawl.
That's why it stopped. Finchie's team.
No, and there was a Toowoomba team. I think the Doonerman boys played.
They played, I was at Allianz
Allianz.
Stadium, City Footy Stadium. I remember the stink over in the far
It just went on and
southeast
on.
corner.
And it was
Yeah.
televised, and mate, they're just turning
Oh.
up. And I think Commonwealth Bank went doink out.
Yeah.
coming back.
What, the
Come
brawls?
back. No, the school.
Oh, okay.
Well, look, if there's any controversy, we know one man who's going to be all over it. Michael Chammas.
You're going to show my highlights for Parramatta Maras there, Paul Gallen.
Oh, did you play?
Yeah, well, didn't go very far, but Gallen line, Parramatta Maras boy.
You said your
There you are.
team.
Yeah,
Can I ask a question? Why have you both got jackets on?
It's cold in here.
Summer.
It's cold in here.
It is a little cold.
It's like getting on a plane. You can never get on a plane without a jumper.
no, you need your
Got to
The
feel
rookie
secure.
era. And the movies.
trackies.
Josh Addo-Carr, big story this week, of course. Situation is that, well, reportedly he was tested roadside, tested positive, we believe, to a banned substance, a drug, cocaine. The second test goes away and that comes back to determine whether there's any penalty or not, but he's decided to stand down from the game this week for Canterbury, given it's their first final since 2016.
Yeah, look, massive story on the eve of the finals. The Bulldogs, they've come back after 8 years. They've been in the wilderness and unfortunately it's been hijacked by this situation. And I guess the drama that unfolded highlights probably around Gus's tweet, because the original version was that fact that the first test was inconclusive. That is what he passed on to the Bulldogs, and the second test was negative. However, the police then released a statement and said the test that he undertook, there were allegations that it was a positive reading to cocaine. And subsequently, he's decided to stand down. The club spoke to him. Phil Gould said to him that if you were to play this week, this is going to be the consequence. This is what the impact will be on your teammates, the club, yourself, your family. And Josh Addo-Carr made the decision to make himself unavailable. It's an unfortunate start to the week for the Bulldogs, given how significant this moment is for the club.
How many conspiracy theories are going out there of what happened?
A lot.
'Cause I've heard, I reckon, half a dozen.
Yeah, a lot. And you can only go by the facts, and I'll tell you what the facts are. The facts are that Josh Addo-Carr went into camp with the team. They stay in, even in home games, they stay in a hotel, and they stayed at the Olympic Park Hotel, the Pullman. Some of them went to the footy, the Roosters Rabbits, on Friday night. Josh Addo-Carr left at half-time.
Along with a lot of teammates.
I don't
That's
think
right.
they all went, but some of them did. Yeah.
But a number of them left at half-time, not
And
just him himself.
Not just him.
So that's what it's made out, that he was the only one that left. I didn't know that till someone mentioned it today.
I think he's the only one who left the hotel to go out. He told the club he was going to get a charger, went to the Easy Mart at Wentworth Point, and I think on his way back was pulled over by
So
police.
there's footage of him going into the Easy Mart.
Really?
CCT.
Is there?
No,
I
I'm
haven't seen it.
asking. Well, there's cameras everywhere.
Well, that's what he told the Bulldogs that he was doing. Now, whether or not they've been able to stand or corroborate his story, I'm not too sure if they've gone to the extent of finding CCTV
Well, don't the
footage.
police do that? That's
Well, not
police.
really. He's not on any charges for what he hasn't done anything wrong by going to Easy Mart. The charges potentially will be whether or not this comes back positive or negative to the test that he did. And the interesting part is the actual police procedure that needs to be undertaken, the proper process didn't happen because there was a home invasion in Lidcombe that the police were called to and had to leave. So the process that actually has to happen is a drug wipe test. If that comes back positive, then they have to do a fluid test, which they send off to the laboratory. Then they redo the first test again to determine if that's positive, you can't drive. And if it's negative, well, you're clear to go. Josh never did that one. He never did the first test a
So they
second
let him
time.
drive off?
They let him drive off because they had to run off to Lidcombe to a home invasion. They didn't follow the proper process. And I wonder what the implications are going forward if it does come back positive.
Well, it's not Josh's fault.
That's
not Josh's
no, that's what I'm saying. I wonder if Josh Addo-Carr, if he does get charged,
It's not a
can turn
killer
around
crime
and
by
say,
the police either. They're going to something.
no, but it's added to the confusion because
Right.
if the second test was taken and it came back positive, he wasn't allowed to go home.
Yeah.
And Phil Gould, to his defence, he thought there was nothing wrong because he did drive back to the hotel. And generally, if you're driving back, well, then you're cleared.
It's cleared. Right.
So
So, sorry, has he taken that second test now?
it's been sent off to the laboratory, but there are 3 tests. You do the first one twice, then there's one that gets sent off to the laboratory.
And how long does that take?
8 to 10 weeks.
Some
8 to
people
10
saying
weeks.
days,
But
some
he-
people saying weeks.
But he did a urine sample and came back.
Yeah, he went to the club and said, I want to prove to you that I haven't taken this substance that I am alleged to have taken. I'll come and do a urine test. It did that. I'm not sure what the time
When was that the next day?
That was on Monday. And the results came back on Tuesday and it was clear. But
So-
the test was on Friday with the police.
I just did the podcast with Gus, and in the interest of fairness, Josh Addo-Carr has maintained steadfastly he's taken no substance. He's told the club that and says he didn't think there'd be any issue. This would all blow over because he knows he hasn't taken anything. That's the primary thing to point out. And he, as we said, there's no sanction from the NRL or the club. He's stood down to try and avoid the circus around anything. And indeed, should they be available, should they go through, there's nothing stopping him from playing next week either.
Well, there was nothing stopping him from playing this week. The NRL made it clear to the Bulldogs that he's free to play. He hasn't been charged with anything until these results come back. He is free to continue playing. So the decision was made. The Bulldogs had a discussion. That was relayed to Josh and he made the decision himself. And we wait to see if they get through it, whether he plays next week or not.
What happens Monday? So we're in a weekend. We're coming into the weekend and the games. What's the process that's going to happen Monday?
Well,
From the police or the club or?
Well, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? The hard thing for the Bulldogs, if they put Josh Addo-Carr...
It's 8 weeks away. Nothing changes
But
until...
It's not the case, Freddie, for
until 8
everyone.
weeks.
Some of them could be days. There's talk that it might happen by the end of the week.
They might
right.
fast track it.
Well, who knows how they prioritise it, what the police will do, but it has happened where it's come back in a matter of a week, and that's the risk that Canterbury will take. Let's say they hypothetically do win. What if you name him to play and then the police drop the results the day before the game and it is positive? I'm not accusing him of doing anything, but there's going to be an element of risk with the Bulldogs and Josh Addo-Carr if they pick him. The circus isn't going away. It's going to continue, and they can't control when the results come out.
Of course.
Yeah, but you can't wait for the circus to leave either.
No.
You know, if you go through, he sat down this week, obviously, and stayed away from their presentation. But it's like, you can't just hope the circus is going to leave. Like, what if he pulls out, doesn't play, and then all of a sudden it comes back, you know what, negative?
I think what made it worse, Freddie, if this was just an incident where it was a positive reading and we're waiting on results, then we'd all wait, right? But what happened, and it created a bigger hysteria around it, is that Gus went out there and said there's nothing to see here. And then we've become aware of the fact that Josh has misled the club to a certain degree.
The police got involved as well.
And the police got involved. So that not only is the
So
issue of the police,
did
there's
they tweet
misleading
us,
the
did
club.
They issued a press release.
Straight after. Well,
How's Josh Addo-Carr misled the club?
Well, the notion is that the first messaging to the club was that the first test was inconclusive, and the police released a statement saying the first test was positive. Now, they're trying to ascertain whether Josh Addo-Carr knew it was positive. Was he aware of what had happened? Now, obviously, it's a real confusing situation. You're pulled into the back of a police car, you're giving tests, you're unsure, it's late at night. Josh's version of events, he maintains he had nothing to worry about, and he tried to basically pass that on to the club. What he didn't tell the club, that it was a positive first reading.
Right.
Did he know? I'm
he
not
know?
sure. Well,
He was allowed to drive off. You can
That's-
imagine
well, then
he
it-
would think then that he has been cleared.
Well, the first test was the positive. The second test was let's wait and see. And then obviously they head off to Lithcombe for that home invasion.
How's he
The
going?
whole thing is...
Oil reports, how's he going?
Look, I've spoken to different people. I think he's had a lot going on in his life, private life as well, outside of this, that have had it taken a toll on him. I think, given the situation, he's doing pretty well. No doubt he'd love to play. There's no doubt Serraldo would love him out there, but the club and him decided. And that's their motto: club first, team second, individual third. And
Who's taking the position? Skeldon?
But he's out, isn't he?
Carraz?
Did I?
Yeah, Skelton's back.
Did
Carraz is
I?
on the wing.
He's
and
injured.
Sherry's.
Is
No, he's
Skelton
back.
injured?
He's back in the team.
he should be
So
fit
is
to
Bronson
play.
Sherry.
Yeah.
So he goes into the centres with Crichton and Carraz to the wing.
I thought I heard that Skelton's injured.
He
And
missed
then
last week.
Someone guy.
They both-
Someone debuted,
two
yeah,
debuted
last
last week.
Oh, okay.
Skelton against Manly a couple of weeks ago didn't defend very well, so that'll be something that the Bulldogs will be looking to make sure that they address this time around.
Thanks, mate. Never a dull moment.
Wow.
Yep.
Michael Chavis with the latest on Josh Addo-Carr. Of course, the Bulldogs are back in the finals. First time since 2016, but 20 years ago, one of the great afternoons of footy when they took on the Panthers in the finals.
A howling welcome home for the first team to make the grand final. Imagine what it will be like if the Dogs win it. Inside the club, just as chaotic. On the back of the best try of the first 40 minutes, Penrith took an 8-4 lead. In defence, Sonny Bill Williams was brutal. His rematch with Joel Clinton, even better.
This is colossal.
With one try-saving tackle, Reece Wesser went from hero to villain. The Panthers fullback sin binned for holding down. Against 12, the Dogs danced away to an 8-point lead. Corey Hughes shed blood for the cause. A black night complete for Penrith when Hazem El Masri scored a hat-trick. The Dogs 80 minutes away from their 8th title. The only downer for the Dogs, a knee injury for Steve Price, the captain confined to this hyperbaric chamber for over an hour a day in a desperate bid to heal ligament damage. His grand final fate to be decided by doctors and Steve Folkes.
It's going to be up to the coach to make a decision, so it's not going to be an easy one, but you know, it's going to have the team first and me very much second.
Yes, well, as history tells, he didn't play. Andrew Ryan, captain Canterbury, and they both lifted the trophy together.
Well, Jonathan
And
Thurston
JT gave him his premiership ring.
Yep.
So it goes through the bench. Canterbury, that grand final.
Asatasi,
Roy
Sonny
Asatasi, Sonny Bill,
Bill, JT, Rennie.
Rennie Matua. Not a bad bench.
That was a good team.
That was powerful too.
A good team.
And you know what? The Sattler grand final tackle gets all the plaudits. What about the Andrew Ryan tackle?
Yeah.
Or on the line?
We're off and gone.
You're in.
That was on Croc.
Croc.
What, that was like a couple of metres out?
No.
Was
It was about 40 metres out.
He'd,
I don't think it was that far out, was it?
yeah.
Just on
If he breaks through, we're pushing through.
Just on
They're
that.
under pressure.
Out of that whole team, Mace, Ogre, Sonny Bill, Roy Asatasi was the hardest to tackle.
Yeah, he was.
Roy had this sort of this movement and this late footwork, and he was like, doosh.
He was a ball mate. Like a
Jeez, he
rhino.
was hard at that. He was a great player.
Dominant prop for a few years there, wasn't he? Let's run the rule over a few of the teams that aren't going to feature in finals. Let's start with the Dolphins, who gave a fantastic account of themselves and could have sealed their place with victory over Newcastle at the weekend. Maybe just ran out of steam, although Newcastle's defence was absolutely fantastic.
I've got to say, their right side defence, Cogger, Gagai, and who's on the right wing? Oh, Fletcher Sharp. Geez, they were good.
Yeah.
The way they defended Hemiser. Look, it's been a really good year. It's above a pass mark for the Dolphins. But
No, they lost their front row and
Flegler and
they lost their two toughest blokes before the comp start. That's harsh.
King spent time out.
Yeah, but the two blokes the full year, when you're losing players the full, it's like the Titans losing Tino. Big losses, huge losses.
The Raiders boys, how good did they finish?
Oh, yeah. There's a team building down there.
Yeah.
They got some of the best young forwards in the comp. Moriarty and
Well, they're
two of
young
the
backs.
young guns. Ethan Strange, Kaya
Kaya Weeks. And the other centre, it's a chunky bloke's name, the Kiwi.
Timoko.
This bloke's a player. There's some of them young
Fast.
forwards. Geez, they got some good. And geez, Hudson Young had a good end of the season. I
You know
love
what?
him as a player, Hudson.
Tarpanay, but they need to just be consistently good all year. Like, he's that good a player. He could make a, you know, if he's your best player, if he's the best player in the comp, they nearly win. They win the grand final. Like, I think he's that instrumental in the way he plays.
Rapina's gone.
Rapina's gone.
Who's going to play fullback? Savvy?
Well, Ethan Sanders is going there
He's
from
a-
Parramatta.
Now, he's a good player.
Is he?
Left footer.
Yep.
So he'll complement Fogarty really well. So I'd imagine Ethan Strange will go to
The centre. So he played right centre in the New South Wales game, but then you got Sebastian Chris, Tim McCall. Sebastian Chris could go to the wing.
Xavier Savage has been terrific
Ethan
for him,
Strange,
hasn't
the left side.
Who's the other
player.
winger?
Well, I think Chris has been playing on the wing, has he? Hang on.
No.
Well, Rapana was at stages.
Rapana was playing fullback.
Who's been playing?
Well, Nick Kotrick, he's been reserve grade.
Oh, no, Ko Weeks. He'll go to fullback. They've got a team down there and keep them all in the paddock. Ethan Sanders. He looks a really good player. He's one I've been watching for a couple of years. Really good left foot kick down that left side.
Ethan's the new Dennis.
No, Ethan's going to hang around for a while. Heaps of Ethans.
That's what I mean. It's the new name. They weren't running out of Ethans anytime soon.
You know what? Say 20 years ago, Ethan.
Yeah.
There was an actor called Ethan.
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke. I wonder if they're named after him.
He's in some good movies.
Not too many Andrews getting around these days.
Thank God. Rank name.
I like your name.
I hate it.
Do you? What would you
I'd
prefer
like
to
a
be
name
called?
like Jim or Tim.
Tim Johns.
Just nice.
Jim Johns.
You know, because you know what my dad wanted to call me?
What?
Tig, as in Tig Keneally.
Really?
That's where the nickname Joey comes from. So my dad said I wanted to call him Tig, and Mum was like, can't call him Tig. Imagine the kids in Cessnock, they'll terrorise him. So my dad goes, right, I'm going to call him Joe. My dad has never, ever called me Andrew. I've never heard my dad call me Andrew. It's always Joe. Hey, Joe.
Seriously? Wow. So that's where Joey's from.
So
And
your
then once I
mum,
started playing at Newcastle, for some reason, Joey happened. So if I go back to Cessnock, everyone calls me Joe. I never get Joey.
so your mum's pulled
you are.
rank and called you Andrew.
Yeah, when
Your dad
when I'm
wanted-
called, only the women in my life call me Andrew.
Right.
Or when I'm in trouble.
I could imagine that rugby league's eighth immortal, Tig Johns.
That doesn't sound. It's very Irish, isn't it?
Well, of course it is, yeah.
Gary. Too much of that when I was getting born.
What would you like to be called other than Brad?
William.
Patrick.
William.
Patrick
nice.
Fittler.
Patrick. Pat. A lot of people called Pat.
Freddy in the Eighth with Tig and Pat.
Pat Healy. What was he off?
Something about
Something
Mary.
about Mary. We had the big choppers.
Woogie. What a movie.
Dragons.
Yeah, they were disappointing.
What a fade out. How bad was that?
They were disappointing. The game against Cronulla down at Wynn Stadium, that was a baddie. That was going to seal a semi-final position. They got beat by 40.
A yes and no. Do you think Ben Hunt will be there next year?
No.
You don't think he'll be there next year?
No. I've heard that Sam Verrills may be going back to the Roosters. Well, have a look at Brandon Smith. He won't play till mid next year.
Yeah.
So that opens the way for Ben Hunt to go to the Titans. Because Ben Hunt's been, the last couple of years, I want to go back to
But
Queensland.
do you think they'd let him go?
Well, yeah, I
Or
do.
They got to play halfback. I saw Marshke's leaving too.
The young
For the
guy,
Dragons.
Yeah, he only had 1 year there, and I think he's
the
leaving.
young guy Ponga who's come through the junior
there's the,
system. There's big,
well, yes, there's the kid Lycan.
yeah, there's big raps on him.
Yeah,
I haven't seen enough to say he's a first grader.
King Tongia. Lycan
Yes,
King
that's
Tongia.
him. Yeah, huge raps on him.
Yeah.
The other one is Sloan. He was in and out. Whether they're going to stick with Terrell Sloan, geez, I think there's a player there.
They're going to have to. And they should. They sort of went through a period there of getting rid of all their juniors. And now they've got rid of another one, Zach Lomax.
Well, they're chasing Tyrone Wishart.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe Tyrone could play 5'8". Well, I see Tyrone, I think his best spot is dummy half at hooker.
But he'd be a good 5'8".
Good 5'8", yeah.
Can you imagine the standard you'd go back there?
Do you think
That he'd
after they fought so hard to keep Hunt when he wanted to release at the start of this season or the end of last season that they'd
How
suddenly
old's
let
Benny
him go
Hunt?
12
Benny
months
Hunt's,
later?
he's over
35
30.
probably?
35?
Is he 35? 34?
34.
Really?
Yeah.
So how long? He's got another year to go. Just one more year?
Yes. Yeah. I think he might have extended with them. Interesting. All right, putting it to play out. The Tab eras debate. Tig and Paddy, is this the most entertaining era of rugby league?
It'd be up there. I thought the early 90s, looking through rose-coloured glasses, you know, the Brisbane and Canberra, that dominance, the early 90s, 92,
Manly.
93, 94.
Actually, there was a lot of teams that were entertaining.
No, but I think, yeah, I think for sure.
The skill level at the moment's through the roof.
Yeah.
Like some of their tries under pressure, like they're catching and passing and scoring in corners, and you know, it's just through the roof. Like there weren't players doing that 20 years ago. Look at that, and that's common. You know, flick passing and around the back and scoring, and scoring these tries is just common practice now. They're so good. They're so talented.
What is it about the 90s that appeals to so many people? When you talk
The
about
early
the
90s.
professionalism and the
I think it was
skill, for
a lot
instance,
less
what
about
was
the
it?
ruck.
Yeah.
There was no wrestling.
It's more
There was no
just
wrestling.
open, free-flowing.
It was open
instant
footy. And the way Brisbane played, it was highly ad-lib with Alf and Kevy and Kerrett at dummy half. And then on the other hand, you had Canberra, you had Ricky, Laurie, Mal, Clyde, Bradley Clyde, all these play, who played a completely different style to Brisbane.
And then you and your brother brought the long passing into the game.
Well,
which was
Ricky
quite
Ricky brought
spectacular.
that in.
But you had that great combination together. Yeah, but you're right. There's such continuity in the football back then. There was.
Well,
no
I think there's
holding
more
down.
ad lib coming into the game now. There's more offloads because teams are playing with.
Well, I think in our era there was more space, so sides weren't as fit and they weren't coming up like they do now.
Yeah.
So now there's less space, but what's happened is it's a quicker play the ball. So teams are just getting back on side, so people are starting to pass a bit more now, and they're using, watching the other day, the Dolphins. As soon as those little blokes on, they just moved the ball. They just went side to side to side, and they scored it all. They nearly scored a try. They got called back, but their style changed mid-game.
I'm a fan of the 6 to go. I think it sped the game up and put more fatigue into the game. There was games there half a dozen years ago or so when I was switching off. It was so boring. And also the referees were blowing upwards of 20-odd penalties a game. It was stop-start. There was no fatigue in the game. They were just wrestling and laying in the ruck. It was like American football.
And the other side of it? Mate, there's a lot of thuggery taken out of the game. You can't take players out now. In the days where you could really line up fullbacks or certain positions, you can't do it anymore. And I know we're getting to a position where we're overkilling it and we're over pedantic on certain situations, but what it does it gives players confidence. You come around the back and you can use skill knowing you're not going to get smashed in the face. Like 5-6 years ago or 10 years ago, the halfbacks going to the line, if you pass the ball, you got hammered.
You got hit in the back. Remember that era?
Non-stop.
And they were smashing blokes in the back. Yuck.
That was all, so what it's done is it's given people confidence to play and to pass, at the line to pass. So
I'm going to come up with something a little bit left field where you spoke about professionalism. So everyone's getting bigger, stronger, faster. The field's not getting bigger. I think eventually we go down to 12 players.
Didn't Warren Ryan say 11 is the best number?
Warren Ryan said 11 is the best number, but any transition, you've got to do it slowly. I think 12 players on the field. I think what it'd do, it'd open the gaps a little bit more. So, there's more space to run into.
Trying to make the field wider.
You can't make the field wider.
We've built
30
stadiums,
seconds
mate.
either side? Yeah.
Well, we're
There's
going to
room.
expand stadiums.
You can't do
There's
it.
heaps of room.
No, there's not.
No, there's not. You can't.
Mate, you
expand.
go down and win stadium. I'm sitting on the sideline. They're running on your toes.
That's all right.
You've got to pull your toes back.
It's in the stands, mate. It's about the
I had
players.
to pull my toes back. Zach Lomax actually ran over the top of them.
Did he?
Yeah, I was like...
There you go. The current era has it, says the boys here on Freddy and the Eighth. The finals are here. We've got 9 games this weekend on 9. 9 games. 4 men's games, 5 NRLW games, and you won't miss a minute of it here.
It's that special time when footy
Finals footy,
becomes a whole new game.
the best kind of footy.
8 teams, 1 dream.
A shot at premiership glory awaits. Here come Penrith again.
Greatness. What more can you say? Pride of the Shire. Circling.
And Cronulla with
Giants. They love doing it tough.
it. Roosters have gone big.
A magical season. Is there a fairy tale ending?
The entertainers are back.
Turbo. Fully charged and flying.
He's back all right.
A legend's last rodeo.
Valentine Holmes, he's checked it.
A force of nature from the south.
The crowd at Amy Park have erupted.
And the heartland.
The grandstands are shaking.
They never give up.
Can we have any more drama here?
The final glorious chapter is here.
A month-long roller coaster ride starts now.
Every finals match live and free. Only on 9 and 9 Now.
Oh, yes, we're into the big time now. Let's have a look at the pathway to glory in the finals this year, starting with the 2 first and second place teams. So Melbourne at the top there, Penrith down the bottom. Winners go through to a prelim. And there's the chart that spells out precisely who will be playing who. So we'll get the boys' predictions and we'll see where that chart might be filled in, starting with Friday night footy. Penrith versus the Roosters. The Panthers seem to have the wood on the Roosters lately, and they get Nathan back.
Is it 1 from 20, them and Melbourne? So the Roosters haven't been Melbourne or Penrith They've won once in the last 20.
Wow.
Tipping rain.
know that.
Bit of showers Friday.
Right.
Well, they get Tupu back.
Dom
Suoli's playing. Dom Young's back.
They're going to miss that. They're going to miss the ad-lib footy of Sam Walker. They're going to miss the aggression of Victor Radley. They're going to miss Brendan out of dummy half. For me, it's the Panthers. And
I don't mind Connor out of dummy half.
I think if Nathan's anywhere upwards of 80% fit, I think Penrith win well.
The thing the Roosters have suffered is their discipline all year. The most penalised team, and last week their discipline just holding the ball was poor.
So the form line...
They dropped the ball in the first tackle, didn't they? Second tackle.
Yeah, the first.
And they did that the first couple of sets. Unless they fix their discipline, Penrith will just score 4 tries and they won't be able to score any.
The form line, 2 weeks ago, Penrith beat South and South scored 12 points. Fast forward last week, the Roosters played South and South had more players out than when they played Penrith and they scored 28 points.
They scored 3 tries in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was strange, wasn't it? Do you think they just racked the queue, or what do you put?
Yeah,
that
maybe
down?
some clubs are waiting for the semis, but it's hard to just turn on. Like, it's hard to turn on discipline, and you know, some of their errors were just lack of concentration.
Did you say it's hard to be turned on?
It's hard to turn it on.
Oh, I was going to say, come on, Marie, pick your game up.
Storm versus Sharks. With your new hairdo, you might be in luck today.
I doubt it. Okay.
Just call me Tig. Amy Park. Cronulla beat him down there early in the year.
Oh, yes.
Without Nico,
That's right.
they were under strength. Daniel Atkinson kicked a field goal.
His first games, wasn't it?
I saw their bench. Daniel Atkinson and Addo-Carr. Then they got the...
Hazleton.
He's on the extended bench.
Who?
Hazleton. What? He's on the extended bench.
What?
Oh, Oregon Kafusi's back in. No, I think Royce Hunt's gone to the extended.
Yeah,
bench.
Kafusi's back here. I think the Storm down there, I think they win. I think it's just... It looks to Storm Penrith grand final.
Oh, it's Atkinson, Williams, Hunt and Addo-Carr on the Sharks bench. So what, Hazleton's not there?
Thomas Hazleton is number 22.
Crikey.
Yes. I wonder if Atkinson plays. Like, when you got Addo-Carr, who can cover anywhere, and you got some mobile back rowers, Teague Wilden and Nikita, so they could play centres. Like, it's just someone's got to be able to fill in at halfback, I suppose.
I just assumed he was going to be there. Hazleton, he's been terrific.
Been their best front rower. Yeah. He must be injured. I'm assuming he must have got an injury.
Yeah, right.
He laid on that good try, come across with a beautiful tip on. Jack Williams.
Munster coming into great form, and on the flip side, the pressure's on Nico again against his old club.
Munster missed the origin period, fresh, focused. There was a game a couple of weeks ago when they played the Cowboys with all the players out, and Munster just wanted the ball. Geez, there was some good signs. But once again, yeah, the knock is on Cronulla, big games, and the knock's on Nico about winning big games. And the only way to stop it and shut people up is to win it. Just to win it.
I don't mind the Sharks. I like their style last week. They put the Q in the rack against the Warriors. They had them beat. And I don't know, I just feel my good mate Fitzy, I reckon they're going along all right.
They're a dangerous side.
9-day turnaround, I think it's a long time.
For the Storm.
Yeah. I don't know why I think that. I know he's the best at it.
Or
The
if they
coach.
win, if they win, they get another week off.
They'll be fresh then.
And they had a week off the previous. He rested a heap of players a fortnight ago, or a week leading into the second last round. Yeah, fortnight ago.
What would you tell Nico before the game if you were going to advise him?
Tackle, mate.
Get your
Tackle.
Yeah.
Boom.
Get your defence right. Get your head in. You're aggressive. Everything comes off that.
I remember I was playing ordinary once. It was in 2001. You used one. And Joey Thomas came to me and goes, "When was the last time you were split?"
I mean, cut.
Yeah. Cut across here. He said, "When was the last time?" I went, "Good point."
And then you got split in the
I
lip and it got affected.
Played the Dragons. Man of the match. Stitches straight across the eyebrow. You got to get your head in.
Nico, get
your head in.
split. First tackle, get split.
Go to the HIA, get ruled out for the rest of the game. Saturday night footy, Cowboys, Newcastle.
Joey.
There'll be a
Joey Thomas.
boisterous crowd up in Townsville. They will be packed in like sardines. So, Eighth won for the last time in the first week of the finals 2 years ago.
Who was that?
Knocked out Melbourne. Did you remember that?
Yes.
I didn't remember it either. And before that, it was 2017. The Cowboys, who went through to play in the grand final.
That's right. Knights for me, the fullback is in great form. The forward pack was really good on the weekend, and their defence was sensational. I'm worried about the edges, the back rowers.
They won on the weekend, scoring 2 tries.
The Knights.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very
2
much
tries.
like them, yeah.
That's a good win.
That's
a tough win.
as good as they've defended in years.
I'm worried about the 2 back rowers for the Cowboys. Nene on the right and Lukey on the left. Geez, they're guns.
Gee, Dearden and Lukey were dynamite. On
He
the
killed him.
Dynamite.
He killed him.
Yeah.
Like, you reckon they defended well on the weekend,
Yeah.
the right side. You got Dearden, Lukey, Valentine Holmes and Talangi.
But the Cowboys can leak points too.
Yeah.
Well, they defended well against the Bulldogs, but they had all their attacking
I don't know
strike
how.
plays out.
Well, you've got Robson. There's a Queenslander. What's his name? The Cotter. Like, they're guns. Like, them two alone should... There's enough speed and, you know...
Cotter was immense for the Cowboys at the weekend. I called that on the radio and he was just unstoppable.
Like, I don't know how they league points. Like, with those blokes, they've got a great side.
What's your confidence level?
Um,
They'll acquit themselves well. Big emotional day, old boys' day though, isn't it?
she's here. She's listening.
Who's this?
Okay.
Jeez. Don't answer it.
Hey, Dale.
It's Freddy. We're doing Freddy the Eighth.
Hi, Freddy.
Yeah.
He's got a new haircut,
I got a new
Kate.
haircut. I'm looking sharp, so I'll see you soon.
Hi, Freddy. Bye, Freddy.
I'm good, Kate. Yourself?
I'm good.
Hey, well done on the Today Show. Killed it.
Huh?
Well done on the Today
Today
Show.
Show.
Oh, she's
Thank
doing
you.
some
It's
breath
fun.
work with Carl and Carl's wife.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some breath work. That
Anyway,
was fun.
you've interrupted the award-winning Freddy the Eighth. See you, Dom.
So, okay, bye.
So both teams leagued 40 on the weekend.
What was the shop called on The Simpsons where the
Quickie
Easy
Mart.
Mart,
The Quickie Mart.
Quickie Mart?
Oh, yeah. Do you reckon someone went to see our poo? Oh, you shouldn't laugh about it. It's too soon. For me, I think this will be close for 50, 60 minutes, and I think Manly do a job on them. I think that bloke back, Turbo, I think he's a 20 to 22, 24-point turnaround. Yeah, they're a different team without him, stating the obvious.
They'll
And
bounce
Manly,
back.
Turbo, DCE, these players, they lift.
They'll bounce back, Canterbury. They've got an extra day preparation, which they'll need.
Well, you're talking about flicking.
They'll have a
the
big
switch.
crowd.
You're saying flicking the switch. The last 2 weeks they've let in 78 points.
I know, but they've.
Can they flick the switch?
But I mean, I don't think it's been a matter of flicking the switch. Their attitude's been fantastic. They've just ran out of legs.
Yeah, but is that to win games on grit and toughness and defence?
Well, it's wore them out.
It
I
wears
reckon.
you out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For
and
sure.
in their key positions, have they got the players or one of the players to say, "Pew, I'm going to shoot the lights out"? I don't know if they have.
Don't forget Manly got flogged on the weekend too.
Yeah, but no Turbo. He had so much to him.
Is everyone else back? Saab's out.
Saab's out. Yeah, but I think most of them are back.
Well, Lodge has been playing. He
Lodge-
plays
Lodge
last
is
30
starting.
minutes.
Their bench looks really strong.
Well, Kane, Lorden's playing
Lawton's
in the back row.
Yep.
He's a good player.
All right, Sunday footy up. Gee, I reckon there'll be
Ola
50,
Kawatu and Kikau. They'll be on the same
Oh,
side.
yeah.
50, 60,000 at least.
Who would you least like to see in a dark alleyway? I'd hate to see.
And run at you. You got to.
No, just come here. I'd hate to see Ola Kawatu. He's scary.
Yeah, he's
I don't kick out scary, but Ola Kawatu is just.
Hadden Fanua Blake.
Oh yeah. No, but I'm talking between Kikau and.
Either. I would particularly like to run into either of them.
None.
All right, the Panthers going for 4 in a row, of course.
I'd
back
rather read Marnie.
in 19. You would miss him. Back in 1991, bit of drama with some injured Panthers as they lead into their second grand final.
5 weeks out of first grade has given Brad Fittler a chance to relax and recover from injury. Today he made the trek from Mountain Territory to Bondi just a month after having his appendix out. Earlier in the week, he urged coach Phil Gould to take a gamble.
I've done a bit of a con job on Phil and he went along with it. So I'm just looking forward to the weekend.
But Fittler the con man will need more than just smooth talking on Sunday. Norths are well aware the brilliant youngster will be a little tentative at the start of the match and may target him for extra attention.
Fittler, what a great step.
If we do get beat by North, there's Canberra and Manly, they're two strong sides. So I think it's better just going into the game with injuries.
His partner in the centres is also recovering from injury. Brad Izzard has played just one game in 5 weeks after a serious hamstring tear more than a month ago. Like the other Brad, Izzard is a handful for any team, and he says the Panthers have no choice but to play their big names.
If for, say, some reason we do happen to get beaten, things don't go the way that we plan it, well, that gives us an extra run before the grand final, a chance to get up another run under our belt, So there's method in Phil's madness. He knows exactly what he's doing.
But one player right away from semi-final pressure is Brisbane's maestro Alan Langer. Today, as part of a club promotion, Alfie orchestrated a rather different act, but somehow directing the traffic here was a lot harder than on the football field.
Anyone else, you'd be going, what a flog. What's he doing that? But Alfie, everyone just laughs.
Magnificent head of hair back then.
Oh, yeah. Did a lot of people with blonde hair go bald?
I think so.
Right in.
I think blonde people have less hair, less amount of hair.
It's wispy.
Like Fabio. Fabio's got very thick locks.
Look at Langer Cologne.
Wow.
Mate.
Alfie
strum of that violin.
Respectable haircut too.
Alf brought out this thing called Langer Cologne, and he reckons they were doing some promo shoot at Broncos training. He got Gavin Allen. He goes, Jed, put some of this on. Gavin Allen goes this. Oh, F&L, this is burning my face. Langer Cologne.
It's just vodka Red Bull.
I was with him last week. We did a show. He's just so funny. He's just so funny.
Why didn't we get him on here for your hero segment?
Oh, because he's up there running the water. He's got to be prepared.
Yeah, but he could join us on Zoom. Anyway, Freddy the Eighth medal update. We should ask Alfie to come and join us. Who have we got? Wow, Andrew hasn't given it to Kalen Ponga. Jerome Hughes. He's been sensational. Same 3 players again, boys.
Nicker was good.
He's a good player, isn't he? Jesus, a half he'd be great to play with.
I can't believe how light he is. Slight is the word. He could be a centre easy. Nicker.
Yeah. Fletcher Sharp.
Good player, Fletcher Sharp.
He's a good player. Isn't he?
Mate,
He's been good too, Adam Elliott.
there was 2 opportunities. Ponga took them both. He was
How
outstanding.
good is he?
Hey,
These movements.
I watched Phoenix
The
Crossland.
angle
He's still got his hands up. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, Brody Jones. Boom.
He's been going good, Brody.
Hey, you've been rapping Matt Croker.
Yeah.
Apparently the club's letting him go.
No.
Apparently, I read that he can negotiate elsewhere.
You kidding?
No.
Imagine what he does in Melbourne.
Jeez, that's surprising.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this bloke. Have a look at him. But he runs those honest lines all the time. He would never, ever let your half down. He would always be there punching those.
You know who he did him well with? When Sean Johnson was there. They had a year. He used to break the line weekly.
Excuse my ignorance, has he played for the Kiwis,
Yeah.
Britton Nickera?
Yes.
Yeah. He played in that 30-0 win.
Would have.
He did last year, yeah. The leaderboard did go behind closed doors last week, but we've
We
actually
brought it back up.
Oh, hey, look who's coming to lunch.
Ah, yes.
He'll knock us back.
Do you want to keep it going during the finals?
Yes.
Yeah, 100.
Yes, we do.
Oh, well, Sammy Walker won't be there,
Yeah.
so it's going to be between KP
And Jerome.
and Jerome. And the Knights hopefully go deep. Well, the Storm are going to go right to the GF, I think.
He's a good fella, Jerome Hughes. But who'd cover the
Is
tab
he?
to get him up here and
You ever met
put
Jerome?
him
I've
up?
never met Jerome.
Only just at games.
I've interviewed him a few times on the radio. Lovely bloke. So if he has to come up, who's going to pay?
Stu Laundy.
What, for flights? Flights and accommodation as well. I suppose he's got accommodation.
What about if we go to Melbourne? Let's go to Melbourne. No. You don't like Melbourne? No.
Why? You get away with
What
more.
was the bar? Cherry Bar?
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the shower?
No,
Let's go to
that's baby cat.
let's go to Andrew's. Let's go to Andrew's new segment. Oh, if only you knew. My hero. So we had the King, the Chief, and now we've got. Oh, hang on. You've chosen a hero this week.
Yes.
Who have we got?
Anthony Minichiello.
The Count.
The Count.
No, the Min Cat.
Who would ever forget Mini combining with the Eighth in Origin?
Tackle 5 is there. They're just into Queensland's territory now. Here's Johns putting a kick in. Minichiello's chasing. The ball is hitting the upright. It'll be a try. It's a try for the Blues. Scored by Minichiello. That's his 5th Origin try. Anthony Minichiello has scored.
Anthony Minichiello. So Anthony Minichiello grew up where I did, out towards Liverpool. Arthur Beetson recruited him to the Roosters, and he played as a kid. He was about a 19-year-old. Came into first grade in the year 2000. That was the year we got beaten in the grand final.
Played on the wing, yeah?
Play on the wing. Mate, you've never seen a bloke so fit, someone who could hold their pace at any stage of the 80 minutes. And on the other side of it, so tough.
Yeah.
He was such a tough bloke.
Now, growing up, was he a great trampolinist or a gymnast?
Gymnast.
And he could roll and bounce. He was all energy, and what a fantastic bloke. Now, the nickname, the Count, but the other nickname is the Min Cat. So when he was at the Roosters, he got, in those days, remember he got letters written to you?
Yeah.
And someone wrote to him that he reminds him of an Italian mountain cat. So that's how he got the nickname, the Min Cat. But there's years in the early 2000s when he was unstoppable.
But he played, was a golden boot.
Remember, he played all those games and he broke down. His back, his
So
body
he
broke
his
down.
back and neck, and then I started to coach actually. Like it was a tough time because he was breaking down, and you know he was star of the club, and
Go the Min Cat.
And
We roomed together here. That was 2005. That's when we roomed together. Jeez, it was good fun.
He went away, changed his diet, changed his training, changed everything.
He went on the radical diet, all that intermittent fasting, no alcohol, certain foods, no inflammatory foods like tomatoes, all this sort of stuff. And what happened? The body identified these chips in his back, these bone chips, and they dissolved them. It's amazing.
Mate, he scored this try against Canberra. We're down there, and it was just before the semi-finals. And I'm pretty sure we need to win. And, mate, coming out of trouble, we just had one shift, and that is it. Got the balls like 5 or 10 metres out from our line. And he ended up going on to score. It was an amazing try. It sort of just took us to that next level where we need to go, and that was the year we won the grand final. But he was outstanding. Great bloke to play with, great off-field,
Great
good
on
fun.
a night out.
Yeah, good on a night out. But tough. Tough bloke.
Yeah,
went through a lot.
You know, you see those gymnasts, they look like they got one layer of skin over their muscle. You can actually see the...
Well, he's still like that.
That's how Mini was like. Well, he's still like it.
Still fit as. And he went played over 300 games, Golden Boot winner, captain the grand final winning team. So, Min Cat, salute.
What a champion, Anthony Minichiello, my heroes today. Boys, that's a cracking segment. Well done to Andrew
new
Johnson for putting
producer.
it all together. Excellent stuff. We're going to come up with something for next week. Why don't we convene? We'll convene in the green room. What'd you say the diet he had?
He went on these. He'd do this intermittent fasting. So you'd fast for 2 or 3 days, only have water, but then certain foods would be out. He wouldn't eat foods that had
very detailed, mate. He changed his life schedule, and he was always very disciplined when he needed to be. And mate, he went from mate, his back and spine and neck awful. She's got to sway back.
Right.
His back just goes like that, and then just all the all the torment from footy and all that wore him down, but he come through. What a champ.
Boys, finals worthy performance from you today. Outstanding.
Good day.
Can I give you a tip?
Please do.
If you're in North Sydney, what's that new?
Victoria Cross.
Victoria Cross on the Metro. There's these pork rolls there. And they got the pork, but they got bits of crackling on them. I might go and, that's my first time I had one before Freddy the Eighth. I might double up and go again.
Actually, I'd like to give a rap too. I went to a place called St. Petersburg
Okay, let's ring the bell. Cash for comments.
I
Mate.
paid, don't worry.
Mate,
This is the day after.
The pork roll cost me $12. How much did it cost?
It was a
I
lot.
don't say yeah.
It was an experience. If you want to take the wife for an experience, that's where you go.
Did you go with your wife?
Yes.
There you are. See you at the footy over the weekend, boys. That's Freddy the Eighth.
You going to Townsville?
No.
Are you going to Townsville?
No.
Go.
Have a good time.
Please be nice in Townsville. Please.
Enjoy the.
It wouldn't be the first time you've got straight on the plane after
Enjoy the stopover in
after
Brisbane.
the Mad Cow.
Yeah, we got the 6 a.m. flight back. But unfortunately, Mad Cow, I'm off the drink. So I won't be going there.
See if you can twist his arm up there in Townsville, punters.
Yeah, it's not
See you
real
next
hard.
week.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
This year, NRL on 9 is your one-stop shop for all footy.
That's right, Freddie. Not about the highlights. Action. 7 days a week.
Billy and Gus podcast, get that on your drive on the way home. Immortal Behaviour. Grab a seat on the couch for that. And, of course, my favourite, Freddy and the Eighth.
The best footy brains, the biggest games.
Don't trust the algorithm. Subscribe to NRL on 9 and get all your entertainment there.